Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Gretchen and today I'm back with another Women's Prize for Nonfiction Longlist review, and today's pick is The Dictionary People by Sarah Ogilvie. Now this was a very enjoyable read, I must say. It wasn't anything that was thought-provoking, or it didn't toy at my emotions or tug at my heartstrings or teach me anything really profound, but it was just entertaining and I adored it. I thought it was such a quaint little book, and it's not going to be a book for everybody, but if you're a word nerd or if you like grammar and language, I think that this is a book that you will find very interesting. So basically, the premise of this book is we learn about how the Oxford English Dictionary was created. So this is very interesting to me because I never really stopped to think about how something like a dictionary gets created. Like, who actually sits down and decides or determines what all of the definitions are for all of the words. And it was really fascinating to understand and learn that this was a crowdsourcing project. And the book goes into detail as to how all of these different characters, all of these different people participated and helped contribute to the creation of the dictionary. And what the book does is, in perfect dictionary form, the book is set up and formatted in chapters that go from A to Z, and with each letter we learn not necessarily about the letters that the letter corresponds to of the chapter that we're in, but the letter could mean, for example, W was about women, and the whole chapter was about women that contributed to the creation of the dictionary. I believe M was for murderers, so there was a whole chapter about how there was a big chunk of the words in the dictionaries that were actually defined and provided by men that were in prison that were convicted of murder. So the book was, or the dictionary was created by all of these different people from all different walks of life and backgrounds and education levels. And it was just absolutely fascinating to read about all of these quirky little stories that went along in creating something that is absolutely iconic today. And I just thought that it was a really interesting read. It was fascinating. Like I said, it wasn't anything that changed my life, but it was very entertaining and it was charming and it was quaint. And I, being a word nerd, a book nerd, I love crossword puzzles. I used to do a lot of work in the UK, and one of my biggest pleasures when I was over there was watching Countdown on TV. I absolutely loved it. So this type of book was right up my alley because I love anything related to words. And anytime we're talking about a crowdsource project where we have all of these different types of people come together as well for the greater good and the creation of something singular from the minds of many, I'm always fascinated by that. So I ended up giving The Dictionary People a 4 out of 5 stars. I can definitely see why it didn't end up making the long list. I think that this book was way more fun and kind of novel, not necessarily to the level of the books that made the short list. It wasn't really telling any moving story, but it was still a very fascinating, enjoyable read for me. So if you think that you would like to hear stories about all of the quirky things that happen happened going into the creation of the Oxford English Dictionary, I think that you would enjoy this book. So I am still reading from the long list. I know if you've watched my book prize burnout video, I am kind of pumping the brakes on some of the rest of the nonfiction books and just focusing on the short list. I have one more to read from the short list, so I will be getting reviews out for that one as well as A Flat Place, which I already read, and I think that I will eventually go back and review the other ones and read the other ones. I don't know if I'll get to them by the time that the winner is announced, but I'll definitely have the short list completed, and a little closer to the announcement, I'll come through with my prediction for the winner. I am enjoying myself much more since I filmed that video about, kind of being burnout. I had just gone through several books that just really weren't hitting it for me. They weren't doing it for me. They were a slog. I wasn't enjoying myself. But once I got to a book that was entertaining and enjoyable, my attitude just completely changed. So I'm back on track and I'm enjoying my reads again, and I'm happy that I didn't completely give up and get into a slump and just stop reading altogether. And I'm looking forward to continuing my journey with all 3 of the active book prizes that are going on right now. So there's definitely more content to come, and until we read again, bye.